Another day, another coconut recipe. You're going to ask, Charlotte, why another coconut recipe? It's because the coconut tree has blessed us with a coconut. First, a drink. This is a grapefruit tonic. I'm pouring this first because I wanted to see the color, if it was orange or pink. This looks orange. I'm going to taste it by itself first. No. That was a little bit harsh. Then we're going to mix it with rosé. Why am I mixing this rosé with the tonics? Because rosés are really, really sweet. Oh my god. Is that enough? Why do we drink while baking? It makes the whole baking process enjoyable, and you tend to forget the amount of dishes you have to clean once you're done. It smells different. I don't know how grapefruits are supposed to smell, but it tastes good. On to the recipe. First, we're going to start with a little amount of, this is margarine, and I only want to have 125 grams of margarine. How do I know this is 125? Because I think I measured 175, so I'm supposed to leave some in the bowl. Now we're going to whisk the margarine first. Is this on? Yes. Never lift your whisk while it's still running, or you're just going to have a mess. Next, I'm going to put eggs. I don't know why am I putting eggs next instead of sugar, but why not? That's 3 large eggs with the yolks and everything else. We're going to whisk this too. I'm obviously not going for like a light texture because I'm going to put oil in the recipe, so you're never going to have a fluffy recipe, I think, if you have oil inside. Okay, I should have just gone with the normal margarine, sugar, then eggs, because it doesn't look better or anything. But now I'm going to add a little sugar. So I had 125 grams of margarine, I had 175 grams of sugar in here, and then 3 large eggs. That's it. The next thing I'm going to put, this is less than 100 mils. I think it's 75 mils of sunflower oil. And after that, I'm going to add vanilla essence. I should have gone for coconut essence, but vanilla essence always. That was like around a tablespoon of vanilla essence. And like a really little piece of crushed pineapple. That's it. Now we're going to whisk this together. Now I'm going to add the coconut. So this is not desiccated coconut. This is still moist because it's straight from the coconut. And that's why I went heavy on the, I was supposed to use a spoon. That's why I went heavy on the sugar, so that, you know, the sugar could make the flour sweet and it could also make the coconut really sweet. And this is going to be so delicious. I don't know if I should whisk this or turn it with a spoon. I'm going to whisk it. Why not? That's done. Now I'm going to go preheat the oven at 175 degrees centigrade, and then we're going to move on to the dry ingredients. Dry ingredients. There is 250 grams of flour. In it, I'm going to add, this is baking soda and salt, like a 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda and a really flat teaspoon of salt, and then 1 teaspoon of a heaped teaspoon of baking powder. Now, Here's my sieve. I'm not even going to mix this in here, it's not important. We're going to do this in 3 batches. So first little batch. And then I'm going to use my spatula. First I'm going to, oh my god. Wow. I'm going to use my spatula to mix it slowly. I also have a little milk. This is really, really heavy milk. Like really heavy milk. The milk and the pineapple are going to give it a really, really nice taste. I guarantee you that. So then we're going to go to our second and our third batch. I'm going to tell you a little story. The reasons why I'm even drinking rosé today is when me and my dad were watching sport highlights, and we started talking about alcohol. So a new tax, it's not a reform thing, but a new tax law is going to start from 1st July, and it applies to hard liquors that are imported. And so the rise in tax is proportional to the amount of alcohol in the bottle proportional, I think, to the liter in the bottle. That's for hard drinks. So after that, we thought, oh, we're going to have to like drink really nice things before 1st July. I'm joking. But I started talking about sparkling wine. And when I was talking about sparkling wine, I was like, oh, rosé is so nice when it's sparkling. And I tried to explain to my dad what sparkling wine is. He knows what sparkling wine is. And then he left and went to the liquor shop. When he came back with this rosé. So I asked him, Father of Charlotte, this is not sparkling rosé. And he told me, if you want sparkling, just put some Sprite in it. What would you do without fathers like ours? That's the rest of the milk. The milk was around 150 mils of milk. This is going to be so delicious. Like, it already smells so good. It smells wonderful. I know that people prefer like a fluffy coconut cake. I prefer a dense one. If I wanted, I guess, a light, fluffy one, I would have only gone for egg whites without the yolks. And I've foregone the oil, but that is not what I wanted. So this is how it looks. So much coconut in there. Now I'm going to go get our tea. Now we're going to grease the tea. Grease it really well. The good thing about this tin is, like, you can open it from the sides, so it's not that problematic. There we go, a lot of margarine. I'm going to bake it at 175 degrees centigrade for 35 minutes. And in between, I'm going to use my fork to see if the cake is well done. If the cake comes out clear, it means that it's done. Okay, so here goes the butter, the cake butter. These things are really heavy. This is going to be so delicious. I'm going to go put this in the sink right away. We're going to spread it like that. And we are going to do a frosting, so 35 minutes in the oven. This has helped so much. I'd like to thank my partner, the wine, for going through this with me. Okay, on to the frosting. So first we're going to have a little bit of margarine. It doesn't have to be melted. I think that's actually a lot. I'm going to cut just a little bit and then I'll see if I need more after. I'm going to whisk this. After that, I would have used a whisk, but I'm going to use powdered sugar and I'm going to use cocoa powder, and then I'm going to use powdered milk. Now this tends to just like fly away. So I'm going to use the spoon first for the, mix it slowly. By hand, I know everything will fly around if I use the whisk directly. I have tried this before and I've paid the price. Now if you think the butter is little and you'd like a much more, actually this is very little margarine, but what I'm going to do is not add more margarine. I'm going to actually come here with a little bit of hot water. But now the powdered sugar second, and I'm going to go get the hot water. Thank God I didn't use the whisk. It would have been a disaster. Flying powder everywhere. Okay, we have the hot water. So I'm just going to pour first like a tablespoon of hot water. Then mix it up really well. Patience is a virtue here. Slow but sure. Then I'm going to add another tablespoon of hot water. That's it. Let's keep on mixing this. I'm going to use a whisk a little. Whisking it has done miracles. Look, it gave it a much more creamier consistency. It looks so good. It smells very good. Now we're going to put in our last amount of coconut. This cake is going to taste so good. We are done now. I'm just going to put this in the fridge for the rest of the time it takes the cake to cook and for it to cool down. I am so hungry and I'm so excited to eat this. I'm going to go put this in the fridge now. Hello, fridge. It spent 15 minutes in the oven. So now we're going to sit here and wait for it to cool. It smells so good. So good. It's the moment of truth. The cake has been cooling for the last... Don't worry, I put something else on the table. I didn't put the cake directly on the table. So let's open this. Now let's put the frosting on. This is how I apply frosting on anything. It does not matter what it is. All I care about is top frosting. The sides can survive by themselves. This has been a wonderful experience. This is going to be delicious. Okay, here we go. Here's my plate. Here's my knife. I'm going to cut the cake. I'm going to lift it from the bottom. Yum! Oh my God, yum! Look at that. So delicious. Haven't even tasted it, but just the smell. If you could smell this, you would know. Wow. It's the coconut for me. This cake is amazing. I think this is one of the best cakes I've ever made, besides the carrot one. And the lemon. But this tastes delicious.